Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we're stirring up crap on social media again. This time we're going to TikTok. TikTok can't decide who the Karen is in this Dunkin drive-thru video. Apparently there's this Doordash versus worker in a restaurant, and both of them are Karen-esque, and we can't decide who the real Karen is. So let's go over what actually happened, what we think from a driver's perspective, and we'll go through the final verdict of who the real Karen is. And without further ado, let's get started. It's time for the next episode of Who's the Karen? Usually it's obvious, but this TikTok video has users divided on who's really the unreasonable one at the drive-thru. According to the Daily Dot, the story begins when a drive-thru worker at Dunkin' Donuts forgets to turn off her mic and says something derogatory about the customer, which later she repeats. What I said was, this stupid idiot comes to the effing window and doesn't want to order and wants to be lazy. The context is unclear. However, TikTok footage begins as the argument is already taking place and the employee is clearly already in a bad mood. There's already an unfortunate stigma when it comes to food delivery drivers. I understand if you don't like DoorDash people just running up to your counter and shoving a phone in your face, or there's a driver that ate your food, so you gotta remake the whole meal, and then that's on your brand. And I understand the challenges that come with dealing with food delivery drivers. It is also very challenging for us when we have to get the attention of those people who work behind the counter, who decide for whatever reason that we're almost non-existent. Sometimes in a McDonald's or a Dunkin', it is impossible to get the attention of somebody just to hand you a bag from behind the counter to the counter. I want to be able to get my customers' food to them hot. I don't want to be the next guy on Twitter that somebody's complaining about, oh, I got cold food. Well, they should have handed us the bag. In this case, it's the drive-thru window. I'm already questioning why he's going through the drive-thru. There might actually be a note in the merchant side to where we aren't even allowed inside, but I don't really have an answer for that. I know that after a certain point in the night, we have to go to the window, but I feel like there's not enough information on that yet. I would like to know what time of night this actually took place. It appears that part of the trouble stems from the fact that the person in the car works for Doordash and has experienced a miscommunication about whether he should be picking up the customer's order at the intercom or at the window. As one TikTok commenter wrote, she's mad that he was doing the job right. Why he gotta tell the intercom about Doordash when he is supposed to go up to the window and pick up the order? To which Ricardo Baaklani, who recorded and posted the TikTok, replies, "Thank you." Sounds to me like there was actually a notation from the merchant to the driver saying that after a certain point in the night you have to go to the window. Or maybe with COVID, we're supposed to go to the window regardless. I know that a lot of people just shut down their lobbies and only went through the drive-thru. And I know that DoorDash actually made it clear to us as drivers to only go through the window for certain restaurants if the merchant requests it. We don't know if the merchant requests it. I wouldn't be surprised if the merchant requested it, but it sounds to me like so far that's the case. Another viewer feels differently, saying, if you're DoorDash, you have to tell them you're DoorDash at the intercom. Don't be lazy, like she said. Indeed, DoorDash policy seems to indicate that identifying oneself as a delivery worker is the preferred practice. Yes, you do need to indicate that you are a DoorDash driver. I wouldn't say this is lazy. I would say that, hey, I forgot to say something. It's not really that big a deal so far. I've been the guy to actually forget to mention, hey, I'm from DoorDash or Uber Eats or Grubhub, because I've done all three and I know that that could be a challenge, so we don't know if this guy's a multi-apper or not. Baaklani may be wrong, but it's definitely unprofessional for the Dunkin' employee to use that kind of language, she said. When the Dunkin' Karen said, what's my name? Go F yourself, DoorDash Karen snaps back with a threat. Alright, I'm gonna need you to calm down before I get your blank fired tomorrow via TikTok. When it comes to de-escalating a situation, this was probably a poor choice. As Northern Police Department Sergeant John Farrell puts it, never in the history of calming down has anyone calmed down by being told to calm down. Yeah, I think that should be pretty obvious from not even just a police perspective, but just a life perspective. Have you ever tried to tell someone to calm down and the first thing that happens is they actually just get angrier? I don't think threatening the guy was actually going to help. I know that I'm guilty of getting upset with the merchant side when I see people who come in, order, get their food, and leave. And I'm still waiting there. Oh, my favorite is when I'm waiting there for 30 minutes and everyone's in and out and no one even acknowledges, hey, has that guy's been standing there for a while? What's going on? And then I'm like, hey, what's going on? And I keep getting ignored. No one likes to be ignored. Don't ignore other people. In this case, it seems like this was just a very verbally violent fight. Things clearly did escalate. The two began tossing back insults based on personal appearance. While this amused viewers and the situation ultimately ended safely, we simply can't be advocates for this type of reaction for either party. As they say on Reddit, ESH, everyone sucks here. Yeah, I think they're both pretty bad. I understand both sides of the argument. Yes, the Dunkin' Donuts guy was a total tool. You didn't exactly respond the way you're supposed to. More like you reacted poorly. Many viewers have been tagging Dunkin' with requests for the drive-thru employee to be fired, but we also can't imagine Doordash is pleased with this response by their driver, regardless of who started the argument. Baaklani has gone on recording stating he believes the situation is entirely the Dunkin' Karen's fault, while the spokeswoman for Doordash told Newsweek the behavior shown in this video is extremely concerning and has no place on our platform. Dunkin' and the employee in the video have not commented. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. I personally believe that people who work in merchants, it's not even just Dunkin' Donuts. It happens to be extenuated here, but it is something that happens a lot in the food delivery industry, is where we will show up to a place and we get treated like third-class citizens. Even though we're helping them, we're being treated poorly. And I understand why, because some of us have not been the most, well, let's say, greatest experience to work with. Let's just keep it at that. In this particular case, the guy in the drive-thru window seemed to be a jerk. I don't think I would have gone to the extremes of cursing him out right there and then. I don't think that would have been how I would have handled it. But I understand the frustration that comes from that. So I think the Dunkin' Donuts guy definitely started the issue, but the way the Doordash driver handled himself, there was a significant difference between responding appropriately and reacting inappropriately. And he just started with threats. It wouldn't be the first time a Doordash guy got a worker fired. I really hope that Dasher didn't get deactivated, because that's not right. As my personal opinion, the verdict goes to the Dunkin' Donuts guy being the bigger Karen. And the Doordash guy is a Karen, but he's not the bigger Karen. If you need to make a report later, make a report later. But other than that, that's really it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.